We have started with geography only, na? Then what? Who?
So this is the second is this.
Test of?
And
so we will finish it off now. We got 2 lectures today. And it's so not a big chapter to be worried about. Can't they have got nationalism? And so we can finish it. You want that chapter instead of geography, instead of history. Instead of history, you want that chapter for the test. Listen. Did I complete that chapter for you then? Madhav, can you hear me? Madhav, are you there? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nationalism in India, the chapter geography, history. Hey, if you don't want the nationalism in India, you want me to redo with some geography paper, which is your school is having. Which chapter it was? Resources and development. But in one day they'll put only one chapter. I have completed only one chapter of geography. Resources and wildlife. Resources and development. Wildlife conservation. So instead of history, shall I ask you to put the other chapter? You don't want history.
Yeah.
Okay. Civics क्या हुआ मैंने? Power sharing is complete. So are you ready to give geography and civics कैसे आएगा? Geography and economics आएगा. Economics में पहला कौन सा चैप्टर का टेस्ट हुआ है? हाँ? Indian economy हो गया. I'll check with the department and let you know. Right now. Okay. चलिए. Tell me for history, nationalism in India, which topic I have done. Khilafat movement did be complete. Correct? Then did we start with non-cooperation movement? But I will explain fully. Okay. So write down the notes for Khilafat movement. Did I give the notes? Then write down the notes for what do you call it? Mobile, madam. क्या है? अच्छा mobile is there. What is it doing there? Sir, non-cooperation is also given. What is the next heading? Rollout Act is also given.
Yes.
Effects of
Rollout Act is also given.
Oh, good. Then directly, I think then we have CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement. Am I correct? Civil Disobedience Movement. But before the Civil Disobedience Movement, we have suspensions of what do you call it? Non-cooperation movement. So before this, we have to study suspension of NCA. So just check, there is one incident given in your volume, Chauri Chaura incident. Chauri Chaura incident. Hey, when did this girl come in? Oh my God. I have slipped in. Just check whether the textbook or the volume has this incident in your either in the volume or in the textbook. Chauri Chaura. So put that heading in your note. Wait, let me see the volume first. History volume. Yes. So we have done non-cooperation. How could non-cooperation movement become a big movement? And second, Roller attack we have done. End of roller. Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Did I give notes? Did I give notes on Jallianwala Bagh? Just check, Madhav. Then it is non-cooperation I have to do.
Sir, no, sir, you didn't give the notes on Jallianwala Bagh.
Okay, that is okay. Then for non-cooperation, did I give any notes? Just check. How
Yes.
many? Show me the notebook. Before your matter, coordinator matter goes away after effects. Roller attack का spelling है. LET नहीं है, LAT है. Okay, so हर जगह roller attack का spelling वही है. So write the heading in your notebook. End of not end. You write non-cooperation movement in the towns. Non-cooperation movement spread in the towns. NCM spread in towns. You understand towns? Far away from the cities. So there are phase 1, phase 2 or stage 1, stage 2. First group, you can write middle class in towns. First group. Only put the heading. Details I'll give you later. Middle class in towns. Second group peasants in countryside. Second group peasants in countryside. Third group tribal people. You have to explain on this. Third group tribal people. That is in Andhra Pradesh. You can write AP, Andhra Pradesh. Yeah? And the last is fourth group plantation workers. Fourth group plantation workers. Okay. Just copy it down and I'll explain one by one. This Sunday test, you need chapter 1 of geography and chapter 2 or chapter 3 of economics.
The chapter 1 of economics.
वो तो हो गया ना डेवलपमेंट चैप्टर कब का हो गया?
नहीं सर, एग्जाम में वो आ रहा है.
Civics you need which chapter? Power sharing.
Yes sir.
Geography 1 and power sharing. I'll just talk to them. Just keep writing this. I'll come back. Okay, she's saying already that geography chapter is there for the test, resources and development,
Yes.
and only what do you call power sharing has to be added. And now this is the last time I'm entertaining like this. Next time onwards, by Monday, you have to report to your madam regarding your school exams or whatever it is. Because once it is uploaded online, it cannot be, you understand? So don't tell me, don't wait for the Wednesday when I'm coming, then only you guys will say. Whenever you're coming on Monday, if there is any, not only in my subject, based on your school syllabus, if it is, the paper is not matching, you tell them. If you tell it on Monday, it is easy for them to put the upload the same. Once it is uploaded, it is a double task for the technical team. Got it? So this time they may try type and give it. Last time also I remember you said something same like that. Now also you are saying the same. It is not there for your coming school. So now they will do it, but next time onwards tell it well advance on Monday. Okay, so that the uploading will not be a trouble. Okay, so now when I explaining this national non-cooperation movement, as long as we explain Swaraj, Swadeshi, boycott and national education. Like we are in cities, we are into the field of education and you are studying as well. So you understand all this. But when that same program goes to a rural area, it's okay. But then you have to come forward. Second last boy. And you sit in the middle only. You come forward. Jamshed na. So when I'm trying to convey the same program for the rural area, they will not understand. So these 4 group studies will be taking separately to just understand how these groups have taken Swaraj on their own name, how they have taken non-cooperation on their own. I mean, when I'm saying that in Andhra Pradesh, there is one tribal community, and Sitaram Elluri karke koi tak banda aega. He considers himself to be one of the tribal leaders.
Power sharing
Completed. Hey, you tell these things well before Wednesday. Power sharing and resource. I only completed power sharing. Thank you. What I was saying. So every group has taken the meaning of the word national non-cooperation in their own connotation. If I want to explain the word connotation, it's very simple. Now, whatever I say, you are conveying the same chapter to your friend, but at your understanding level. You understand that word, your understanding level. So you are interpreting my lecture, which may be at my level or it may be at your level. But generally, it is understandable. You will be saying, "Arey kuch nahi, wo definition diya, wo chale nahi to likhne bola. Advantages discuss." But when you listen to my lecture, the same fellow, I might have explained in a different manner. So what is that gap? Turant bacha bolta communication gap. No communication gap, nahi, understanding gap. Whatever you have taken in your brain, you are going to explain that same thing. So similarly, we are going to study the 4 groups in different parts of India where non-cooperation has gone to the people, but they have understood non-cooperation in their own way. I mean, for example, plantation workers. These plantation workers were trapped in that hilly area, tea estate like. They were not allowed to go to the home maybe for the next 1 or 2 years. On one fine day, they said, "We are going to start a non-cooperation movement. We are going to run away from this plantation." And they ran also to a nearby railway station to escape out of that. But that plantation owner has sent the police and caught them back. So they are saying, "We have started which movement? Non-cooperation movement." Are you understanding? So the same non-cooperation movement have spread to far and wide. For here, some cases INC also comes in. Nehruji might be here for some of the cases, or Gandhiji. For Gandhiji, I think for plantation workers, Gandhiji only starts as first. Badoli Satyagraha karke. He is fresh from South Africa. He has finished his law from London, and he goes to South Africa for practicing the law. And then there he sees the problem of apartheid, and where Mahatma Gandhi starts a nationwide struggle in South Africa for the black, not for the whites, is it? And then he joins India in the year 1915-16. So when he joins India, he joins the first two. One was Bardoli and other is Adamo Satyagraha, where he understands that even in India, my kind of Satyagraha is going to become big. So one thing about Mahatma Gandhi as compared to any other national leaders, he made all the movement a nationwide movement. What is nationwide? Every section, every community,
Including all the parts of that.
all people participated. Not even the teachers, not even the students, the village people, the city people, even the housewives did participate. Before to the arrival of Mahatma Gandhi, this was not a scene. Only that elite people will join. They only will discuss and they will fight for it. Is it understood? So we are going to do the first group of middle class in the towns. I'll allow him to read the first case. So you have to make a note, which I will be making you to underline and then straight away write up. Come on.
The first group of middle class in towns. The movement started with middle class participation in the city.
So you make this point as number one. Thousands of students left government-controlled schools and colleges. That is point number one. Okay, whose volume it is? Yours, is it?
The second point.
Second point is the first point for your notes. And then once you done that, colleges ke baad, you can write thousands of student teachers. Second point, headmasters, teachers resigned and lawyers gave up their legal practice. That is point number two. The council of elections were boycotted in most provinces. That is point number three, except Madras hone chahiye. Then come down to the next page, economic impact of non-cooperation. You start reading from there.
Economic impact of non-cooperation. The effects of non-cooperation on the economic front were more dramatic.
This is point number 4. Foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, foreign clothes, and they have written only clothes, you write clothes, burnt in huge bonfires. You understand all these events? Picketing off means what? The ladies only generally of INC will go. They'll go down to a liquor shop, not to order and take some order. They will pick it up in their hand, they'll run away from the. And फिर क्या करेगा? In the middle of the road, call all the people, liquor drinking should be banned. They will break all the bottles there. Although they might be get caught by the police maybe after some time, but then Gandhiji used these ladies to the best possible. That is point number 4. Next.
The import of foreign club half between 1921 and 1922. Its value dropping from 102 crore to 57.
Only underline, this is for your understanding. 1921, the value was 102. Within 1 year, look at the value of import. Import means what? What the Britishers brought the foreign clothes to India. So, ये जो 102 crores pay करने का था, was it paid from Britishers' pocket? It was paid from our Indian revenue only. So, look, almost within 1 year, due to the boycott of foreign goods, it has come down to 50 crores, 50 or 52. Okay, let's proceed.
In many places, merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods or finance foreign trade.
No need for this. Next.
As the boycott movement spread and people began discarding imported clothes and wearing only Indian ones, production of Indian textiles and handloom.
So you make this is point number 5, starting from the shaded portion. Production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up due to discarding of. Did you see? Went up ke baad due to लिखो. Discarding of imported clothes and wearing Indians one. No need for that one only. समझा? पहले start होगा यहाँ से, फिर जाएगा इधर due to discarding. समझा? Next.
But this movement in the cities gradually slowed down for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
Khadi cloth was often more expensive than mass-produced mill cloth.
Underline khadi cloth was expensive. Only underline that. No need to write. The next point, directly go to the next point. Similarly, the boycott of British institution, underline, posed a problem. ये point number आपका 6 होगा. Khadi cloth and what do you call it? Similarly, दोनों point number 6 है. मतलब although we are talking economic impact was big, but everywhere the Indians could not boycott whose clothes? British clothes. It had some trouble to the Indians. Let's see. Next.
For the movement to be successful, alternative Indian institution had to be set up. so that they could be used in case of British ones.
Underline alternative Indian institution and to be set up. Which institution? Indian education institution, huh? So they could be placed in views of British ones. Next.
These were slow to come up, so students and teachers began kicking back to government schools.
ये नहीं चाहिए. So we have marked almost 7 points. So put the heading already that you might have done. Directly write point 1 and write all the 7 points. I've neatly marked in Disha's book, Disha. So you can do the writing, and then I'll come in 5 minutes. Okay. Madhav, you understood what you need to write?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you tell the 7th point, sir?
Only 7 points, and that also the way perfectly that I've marked.
Okay, sir.
I'm coming back in 5 minutes. Having small.
It is for middle class and top,
This is only for the first group. Second and third, it is not there, which we will do it. Okay. I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Monday को मैं अगर क्लास में आई ना दिन मंडे को मैं क्लास में नेक्स्ट डे क्लास
Yeah, 6 to 190 or 6 to 6 to 6 to ये लोग तो 160 कुछ तो बोल रहे थे 160 ये भाई इनको दारू पीने का पड़ा नहीं इनको दारू
अरे चलो इसको मत देना कैसे क्या अजीब नशे क्या एग्जाम को 10 दिन पर स्कूल के रास्ते से किताबें लेके जाओ तो ऑन भी नहीं कर सकते
पहली बार जॉइन कर यहाँ से
सही समझते हो तो ये समझना कुछ अच्छा या क्यों अभी चल रहा है अभी देखो ज्यादा ऐसे small day probably very shorter more expensive cost of profit so the year
खाली का तो ऑफिस
more expensive अबे वाला पॉइंट इधर से पूरा पार्चमेंट में हां ना चलेगा स्टार्टिंग चलो
Only the talking noise I can hear. I was just in there. Everyone have completed?
on 50 point
Then let us go to the second. Are you finished it? The second group of pieces.
खाली
Second one is already
how is this influence of NCM? Madhav has written. Just finish it off. We'll start with the second main point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
वो निकल गया कल नहीं गया आएगा आज
तो पुराना है अपने पास तो
Why both are using it? Achha, just my marking. Shall we? Look how quietly and coolly he has written and smiling at your. You completed writing, so that's great. You also? Shall we go to the second group? I'll ask him to only read. And if you write like this slow, steady, I can't complete the chapter. By the time you say two, it is already done. Give me the other textbook, na? You give me. And give me the pencil. And you start the reading.
From the cities, the non-population movement spread to the countryside.
Now, if I tell you the difference between cities, towns, and countryside, countryside is those where people do not have any access of maybe like newspaper. Maybe they are living from field to house. They are least bothered. What is this NCM? What is this NCM? But then the Nehru and the INC workers made it a point that at least people understand what is this NCM. Are you understanding? So now we are going to understand that same NCM in a rural area. Let's see what is the rural area.
Due to its old the services of regions and languages which were developed in different parts of India in the years after the war.
Okay, now we put the number 1. In Awadh it was, peasants were led by Baba Ramchandra, a sannyasi. बस उतना ही लिखने का. Who had earlier gone to Fiji, वो सब नहीं चाहिए. Second point, the movement here was against underline talukdars and landlords. This is point number 2. Up till landlords is point number 2. And who hata dene ka, make point number 3, and then you write the word, add the word they. They demanded from peasants exorbitantly high rents and variety of other cesses. Cesses bhi nahi chahiye, udhar likh lo taxes. Taxes. That is point number 3. So now we are going to a small province or a kingdom called Awadh. Now what is the problem? The peasants are working under the landlords. What is this landlord is asking them? More taxes. You all are peasants. I might be one landlord who is having a big land and everyone is ready to work under me because you don't have any other source of income. But when you are coming under me, I say it's okay, you work, but you have to pay me 3/4 of your produce. What is 3/4? You will be taking away only how much? 1/4. And already in those days, the families, he is giving me decimal points. In those days, the families are not like we only two. Hum do hamare to nahi tha. The families were big enough in rural areas. One, the entire family is more or less involved in the work. Second, the produce that they are taking is hardly less than half. On the top, they have to pay taxes on the land which they are owning. So now they want to agitate. Agitate against whom? The landlords. Are they having any technique? No. So they are going to make the use of non-cooperation. Is it okay? Let's go into the next point. Point number 3, 4.
Peasants had to do their landlords without any.
It is not beggar, it is begar. So that is point number 4. वो पूरा. अब if I say the word begar, I think it's a Hindi word. Yes. या तो indented labor बोलेंगे या तो forced labor. Serve them. And whatever they are working, the payment is also very minimum. On the top, they have to pay high taxes. Did you understand the problem? Madhav, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, let's proceed. Next.
They had no security of nature. These regularly but so that they could acquire no right over the lease.
So directly इधर से mark करो. They could not acquire no right over the leased land. उधर से point number 5. What is this leased land? ये land किसका था? And they are working for years, but he is not going to give them that land to the tenant. Correct? Next.
Peasant movement demanded reduction of revenue, abolition of labor and social boycott of oppressive land.
Now you have to start not the movement, you directly start. They demanded, point number 6. They demanded reduction of revenue, abolition of that beggar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. What is the meaning of the word social boycott? मतलब जितना भी peasants लोग था, they will come in a group. पूरा society क्या बोलेगा? These are not landlords, and we are not going to respect them. If you want to live in a society, if you want to live within the community, if the entire community is saying you are not a landlord, then how can he exercise the right? Okay, ये उनका demand था. What is first demand? Everyone repeat. Very good. Second demand. And third demand. This was the demands put up. Now they do not know the technique. I don't know how many really understand. When you start learning for your exams, everyone has their own technique. Some just learn and then go away. Some just look at the heading and start writing. Some have the good habit of writing not only the answer they have read, but also keeping certain main points for memory. I don't understand. So now this NCM is going to give them how to fight against whom? These landlords. Okay, that is next point. Let's see.
Many places,
it is Nai and Dobis were organized by Panchayat to deprive the landlords of the services of even barbers and washermen. अब इसको कैसे लिखने का मैं simple way में बताता हूँ. In many places, Nais and Dobis, buns were organized of barber and washerman services. ये services को उठा के पीछे डालो. Are you understanding? Off भी हटा देने का, even भी हटा दो. Barbers and washerman services to whom? To the landlords. समझ में आया? First you have to start when in many places Nais and Dobis organized buns for barbers and washerman services to who? To the deprived landlords. समझ में आया? This is point number 7. Let's see next point.
In June 1920, Jawaharlal Nehru began going around the villages, talking to the villagers and trying to understand their behavior.
Next.
The Kisan Sabha was set up, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ramchandra and few others.
Now you have to write, this is point number 8. The Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ramchandra भी नहीं चाहिए. In October. Nehru के आगे in October लिखो. This is point number 8. Next.
Within a month, over 300 branches had been set up in the villages around the region. So when the non-population movement began the following year, the effort of the Congress was to integrate the other peasant struggle into the wider.
Now the next point as it is, point number 9. Within a month, 300 branches were set up in the villages. Bas utna hi. Point number 9. Next, the non-cooperation movement began integrating Awadh into the wider struggle. Bas. The non-cooperation movement began, close bracket, integrating Awadh. Integrate likha hai udhar Awadh into the freedom struggle. That's all. Start writing. So here we have little bit more points as compared to the other one. 10 points are there. I'll give you. 9. Come on. 10 and 10. And while writing only, you have any queries, please ask. Complete it and let me know. Then this is very interesting to tribal and plantation workers. So with the plantation worker, we will have Gandhiji coming in the freedom struggle. Shall we? No, you are too slow in writing. I don't know how you finish your papers. You have to be a little bit fast in writing, man. Extra. Extra. Madam, did you complete?
So this is the last point.
Please, please. No hurry. So money and credit have already completed.
Yes.
Okay, take this. Oh boy, that's it. Shall we? Start. While writing and my explanation, are you sinking? You understand the meaning of the word sinking? Is that? Means are you relating the points? That's the reason. Shall we? You start reading the third group. So now we are into a tribal group. I can tell you the summary because thoda sa mujhe malum hai what is this. When we are getting into this third group, is the name of the person Sitaram Alluri? Is it Sitaram Alluri?
Alluri Sitaram Raju.
Sorry, Sitaram Raju.
Raju.
Actually, we have a minister called Sitaram Alluri. Sitaram Raju. Now let me tell you this small incident what is happening. Now in this tribal area, this fellow, he claims himself to be a godly man. And he tries to create all miracles and magic. He says, "Mujhe bullet bhi mera body mein nahi lagega. Even if I get it also, I will not be dead." And he tries to prove to the common people that we have to fight for the rights of our tribe community of getting into the forest area, which was not allowed by whom? By the British. In those days, even now also there are certain tribals who morning till evening the bread butter is their forest. If you remember, we have three types of forest: reserved forest and unclassed. This was brought by the Britishers only. Now for ages, you and your father and his father was doing the occupation using the forest. Suddenly I bring a law saying that you are not allowed to go in. And this fellow is very much influenced by our Gandhiji and other leaders also. So he tries to educate the people that we have to fight. We have to fight for the rights. And we are going to introduce which movement? Non-cooperation movement. Is it okay? So it's a tribal area, it's a tribal community, and the person is Sitaram Raju. In fact, we have a video of this person, not exact video. It's a. Let's proceed. Carry on. I'll mark for you.
Hills of Andhra Pradesh, for instance, a militant.
Put the heading Gudem Hills of Andhra Pradesh.
In the notebook.
And that is point number 1 from the volume. Carry on. In the Gudem Hills of Andhra Pradesh, a militant guerrilla movement started in 1920. उतने लिखने का. In Gudem Hills of Andhra Pradesh, a guerrilla movement started in 1920. That is 1. Next.
Not a form of struggle that the Congress would observe.
Okay.
Here, as in other forest regions, the colonial government had closed large forest areas, preventing people from entering the forest to graze their cattle or to collect food, fuel, wood, and fruits.
Now, what do you have to start? The colonial government. So here you write. Here, the colonial government had closed a large forest area, preventing people from entering some nature, preventing people from grazing their cattle and collect fuel, wood and fruits. I mean, if I tell you I'm not allowing your cattle to come in, 1, you cannot carry the firewood. 2, 3, जो भी fruits गिरता है वो भी नहीं लेने. I mean, these are not those days like what we are today. Forest नहीं तो क्या हो गया, मैं जाकर store से खरीद के लाएगा. And these are tribal people living deep inside the forest. And उनका main bread and butter क्या है? Forest only. And if the government of British is snatching that, then these tribals will be revolting. Okay, let's see how is the revolt. That is point number 2. Did you understand? You have to start with here and end it in fruits. That is 2. Go ahead.
This enraged the hill.
It is enraged, made them anger. You can write anger. The hill people, directly open bracket, this third bracket, the third point. Not only were their livelihoods affected, but their livelihoods were affected. Close the bracket, point number 3. Then point number 4, the government began forcing them to contribute begar for road building. They people revolted. That is point number 4. Now, if I want to tell you now, when I am stopping you guys to not to come into the forest, that is one part of the trouble. Second part of the trouble starts when they say the Britishers are constructing roads, and these tribal people are forced to work as what? As beggars. What are beggars? The bonded labor.
Forced labor.
For which the Britishers might not give you a huge income. Forget about the income. They will not give you small pennies also. But they understood these are tribal people. We can force them. Correct? Beat them, enslave them, or torture them. So that is adding to the existing problem. Okay? Let's go to the next 4 points. Done.
The person who came to lead them was an interesting
Look at that word interesting. Now they are going to describe who is the Sitaram Alluri.
Alluri Sitaram Raju claimed that he had a variety of special powers. He could make correct astrological predictions and heal people, and he could survive eating bullets.
So ये उसका claim था. अबे tribal people है. You can't expect them to question them rationally. ऐसा कैसा bullet तेरा body में नहीं जाए? ऐसे कैसा तो कोई भी bullet को बोल? अबे first of all, how many have seen the bullets? That also is a trouble. But this fellow, being a godly man type, he has fooled many people that I can survive any bullet rounds. Okay, let's see what is the next.
Captivated by Raju, the rebels proclaimed that he was an incarnation of God.
Underline the word incarnation. उधर लिखो rebirth. तो people ने क्या बोला? ये तो God का direct अवतार है. सचमुच था? We don't know. I'll show you. They used to do pujas and yajnas for this man. उतना बड़ा God जैसा figure था ये. I don't know how many seen this Andhra. Anyone from Andhra here? Sorry to nobody.
Like my family, they live there.
Like means what? They don't live
They live there.
in Andhra. Where which part?
Andhra.
Guntur. They speak. You speak Andhra.
Yeah, I don't taste Telugu.
So you are a what? Gujarati but settled in
I'm
Andhra.
Gujarati, but they were settled before.
You are not settled. Achha. So it's so simple to tell you. Even now also we had certain popular actors. NTR Junior. देखा? Actor है ना? हाँ. उसका जो dad था NTR Senior. My dad used to say, and he was a person who generally comes in the model of Lord Ram. And जब भी वो Lord Ram का picture करता था, people used to take thali and a camphor in in the theaters. And उधर ही जला के पूजा करता था, जैसे राजा वही है, राम वही है. अभी कितना innocent people को समझाएगा he is an actor, but no. In fact, many people started worshipping him as Lord Ram. और ऐसा पागल लोग, sorry, ऐसा कुछ साउथ में भी है, in Tamil Nadu. There was a popular actor called M.G. Ramachandran. He was one of the popular chief minister of Tamil Nadu also. उसका तो और भी आगे है. He has worked in I haven't seen the movie, but I know what the movie is. He worked as a fisherman, and generally fishermen have small, knives when they are going for fishing and other thing. So there arises a scene where this M.G. Ramachandran is fighting with the opposite fellow. So one of the fishermen who was watching the movie, he loses his sword while fighting. So ये fisherman अपना pockets का जो knife उठा के उसने theater का वो screen में भी फेंक दिया. ये लो रख लो. The screen has come into two. So this much of involvement into the movie. Why I'm saying, in those days only this Sitaram Raju was there. And if I also go into some parts of South and start saying all slogans and chants and mantras, maybe after a few months people will believe, oh, ye kahan se aaya? Sorry to say, there are different kinds of gods in South. If you have gone, there is, I think, Nabi government has to stop kar diya. You have to sit in the rows, and the main pujari will come after doing lots of puja, and everyone will be holding your hand and your head in a very particular manner. And the pujari will start beating the coconuts in every person who is sitting in the room. This was done, and this was shown openly in the channels. If the coconut broke into two, you are a punya atma. But if your head is broken and blood comes, you are a papi atma. I don't know. I will tell you exactly. Generally, because वो क्या होता है, वो टेंडर कोकोनट रहता है, ज्यादा जो अपने को मिलता है, सोचो अगर वो सर पे पड़ेगा तो क्या होगा. ये तो उधर है. In Maharashtra, I can tell you the exact district where a child of 3 months to 6 months is thrown from a dargah height, and a small cloth है, मतलब वो बच्चा गिरते समय अगर रोया नहीं, the child is free from all sins. Typhoid and malaria are cleared, forget about the man, even to the women, by taking a hot iron rod and उनको thighs में एक बड़ा सा खींच देते हैं. गाँव में, ये महाराष्ट्र में होता है, और बोलते हैं कि अभी जिंदगी में मलेरिया तुझे होगा नहीं. अरे मलेरिया बाद में नहीं होगा, but look at the healing path. I had personally gone to some parts of Bandra and this Mahib area. I've gone to Dargah also, not with for me, but for my son friends. If they give some water, बोलते इसको जाके उसको छिड़को. बोले इससे क्या होगा? नहीं, मैं ये जाके ग्रेवयार्ड में रात को 12 बजे जाके लेकर आया. धूप में रात को ग्रेवयार्ड में जा, तो आपको ये लेके जाके उधर करना है. बोले नहीं, मेरा टाइम नहीं आया, जाऊंगा तो 4 लोग लेके जाएगा. तो पीर बोला क्या बोलता है तुम्हारा दोस्त? नहीं, वो बोलता मारने के बाद उसको पैकेज. In every religion we have. Even you go to Sikhism, and I have seen they wear all kinds of kadas and I don't know what all the things. अभी कौन सा गुरु ग्रंथ बोलता है कड़ा पहन के सारा भूत प्रेत भाग जाए. Then I remember, if you watch certain movies which have come in Hollywood type, that Annabelle or any other movie, it is true. American government, I personally have seen, American government allows the people who are expert in these. अभी आप अपना घर पे फोन कर लेंगे ना, they will come, set cameras all over, they will put the small microphones, and within a month they will say, tell you कि आपके घर में कितना भूत प्रेत है. फिर बोलते मेरे घर में मैं और मम्मी पापा, वही बड़ा सबसे बड़ा भूत है. But our house is hardly 600, 700 or maybe 800. उनका घर रहता है 4000, 5000 square feet का. But I personally have lived in a house which was 1500 square feet. And वो जो एक रूम था, मैंने जिंदगी भर खोला भी नहीं. मैं 4 साल वही रूम में था, बट कभी खोला ही नहीं. वो मेरा लैंडलॉर्ड बोला, it's a small weighted ring. मैं बोला नहीं जाना क्या. No, you can put all your furniture there. मतलब जाने का ही नहीं. बोला when did you open this? बोला 5 or 10 years before. और मुझे अंदर घुसा रहा, तू जा कर. मतलब you want me to go, अगर मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा तो फिर वो अपना सारा पुराना सामान बाहर निकालेगा. I asked him very politely, sir, when was the last time this lock was open? Only 7 years before. And then why did you go? I didn't have the time. See, look how smartly that white samurai is fooling me. But you are a lucky fellow. I feel you can go in and do something. Lucky fellow, मतलब मैं जाके जिंदा आएगा तो ये जाए. No sir, I feel I don't have too many friends. No, I give you permission. You go. मतलब मुझे आना वाले और किसी से मिलवाने के लिए उधर लेके चल रहा है. Okay, it's a perfect time for the break. I'll come back and continue. Sitaram. Okay, mother. Okay, I'll see you. I next. हाँ
Raju thought of the greatness of Mahatma Gandhi said he was inspired by the non-cooperation movement.
हाँ, so underline this point only. Raju, the rebel, proclaimed incarnation of God and accepted the greatness of Mahatma Gandhi. Bas मान तक. Point number 5. Okay, next. Next point.
But at the same time, he asserted that India could be liberated only by the use of force, not non-violence.
Okay, next.
The Udin rebels attacked police stations, attempted to kill British officers, carried on guerrilla warfare for achieving Swaraj.
ये point as it is लेने का. Point number 6.
Raju was captured and executed in 1924 and overtime became a
Okay, that is point number 7. चलिए start writing. Okay, these are very minor, but if at all in board exam they ask you, or even in the school test, be very careful. Huh?
So can you repeat the 5th point?
Ha. Persuaded means since they were tribal people, they have this bad habit of alcoholism. Just to discontinue that. अच्छा ये persuaded, हाँ they make it. आपको नहीं मालूम है? How many have been to Goa? अभी तक मेरे लाइफ में नहीं गया. Go गया? हाँ, I have heard many Goanese, especially the Konkani people, make within their house only. अब इतना दूर क्यों जा रहा है? महाराष्ट्र में during Christmas, I have gone to many of my Christian friends because of 2 things. One was a cakes and pastries, and another was a little bit of red color. हाँ, वो बोल दिया. मुझे माइक में नहीं बोलना था. So they make it in the house only. Correct. So I am repeating point number 5 for what is his name? Madhav. तुमको कैसे अच्छा. Point number 5 is Raju the rebels proclaimed he was incarnation of God and he talked the greatness of Gandhi. Then 6, Gudem rebels attacked up till that Swaraj. And 7, the last point. Hello. She doesn't catch half of my word when I speak in You also didn't catch it. This is a funny case of Sitaram. I'll get the video for that Sitaram one. You must see it. It's quite wonderful to understand. What? I didn't get that. Oh, मैं तो इधर दूसरे काम में कुछ भी ना. She is very. Oh, don't compare you with me. There is a lot of age gap and a lot of other gap. क्या बोला उसने? Gender gap तो अभी मैं कभी ये नहीं करता because I feel all my students are safe. No gender difference. हाँ, correct. I call even my girls as boys only. Boys as girls also. What is it? Seriously, क्या है इसमें क्या बोल रहा है ये? At least in my lectures, no gender difference. They have made a movie out of it. That's the. It's in Hindi, will do. And try to get it in the polite English that we speak. Alluvi they tribal answer. In fact, even today, these tribal people worship him as God because he has fought against the British. He was executed. He was given a hand punishment. Anyway, bulletproof था ना वो बंदा. He was given a hand punishment. Might be the Britishers doesn't want to test their power. His power, is it? He was hanged. He was hanged. He was hanged till death.
Sir, he was a hand push.
Shot dead. ये किसको? पता है फिर बोलो ना हम लोग सुनने के लिए. हाँ, she knows the story now. Only she is slowly answering. It is in Hindi. I hope this is a better video to understand who was Sitaram Alluri.
Sir, I'm not able to.
So this is a movie.
Sir,
सर उसको सुनाया
Shall I put this one?
sir, you have not shared this.
हाँ रुक जा, मैंने अभी तक शेयर ही नहीं किया भाई. तेरे आवाज में लड़की के बीच में कौन लड़का बात कर रहा है वही मैं तो देखता. You just wait, man. I'm just selecting a better small and short video for you. So this is a.
खुश नसीब है जो वतन पर कुर्बान हुए, जो तिरंगे में लिपट कर जिंदगी से आजाद हुए।
मरकर भी अमर हो गए वो, साधारण मनुष्य से शहीद की शहादत हो गए वो।
Is it okay?
साथियों, आज हम अपने चैनल YouTube की सीरीज जरा याद करो कुर्बानी में अलूरी सीताराम राजू के स्वतंत्र संग्राम में कैसे योगदान रहा बताने जा रहे हैं। अलूरी सीताराम राजू ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य के लिए बहुत खतरा माना जाने वाले क्रांतिकारी थे। नायक के रूप में उन्होंने 1922-1924 के रंपा विद्रोह में आदिवासियों के एक बैंड का नेतृत्व किया। एक सशक्त विचारधारा के साथ पैदा हुए क्रांतिकारी नेता अलूरी सीताराम राजू ने स्थानीय लोगों के बीच खुद को मनाम विरडू, ये हीरो ऑफ द जंगल्स के नाम से अर्जित किया। आजादी के पहले युद्ध के दौरान श्री अलूरी सीताराम राजू ने गोंड भूमि के गहरे जंगलों में ट्रेवल किया, जिससे वो विभिन्न जनजातियों को एकजुट करके उन्हें अंग्रेजों द्वारा उत्पीड़न के खिलाफ खड़े होने के लिए गुरिल्ला युद्ध में प्रशिक्षित किया। 22 अगस्त 1922 को अच्छी तरह से प्रशिक्षित आदिवासी सेना ने 3 पुलिस स्टेशनों पर चंतापली पुलिस स्टेशन, कृष्णा देवी पेटा पुलिस थाने और राज वोमांगी पर लगातार 3 बार छापे मारी और बड़ी संख्या में बंदूकें, बेनट्स, कारतूस और तलवारें छीन ली। 1922 से 1924 के बीच ब्रिटिश सेना को अलूरी सीताराम राजू ने आतंकित किया गया था। अलूरी सीताराम राजू एक तेज तीरंदाज के रूप में जाना जाता था। उन्हें पकड़ने के लिए 1922 में ब्रिटिश सॉन्डर्स के नेतृत्व में पेगा डापले के निकट असम राइफल की एक कंपनी को तैनात किया। वैसे तो धनुष और तीरों का उपयोग करने वाले आदिवासी स्वयं सेवकों के साथ सशस्त्र थे और क्रांतिकारी नेता पर कब्जा करना एक कठिन कार्य था, लेकिन अंततः ब्रिटिश को बल मिला और उन्होंने एक पेड़ से बांध दिया और मप्पा गांव में एक राइफल के साथ गोली मार दी। डाक विभाग ने स्वतंत्रता सेनानी श्री अलूरी सीताराम राजू की स्मृति में एक 5 पैसे बहुरंगी टिकट जारी किया। दोस्तों, आज हम अपनी सीरीज जरा याद करो कुर्बानी में अगली कहानी जल्द ही लेकर आएंगे। अगर आपने हमारा चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया हो
Subscribe to हमारा family में. Hey, you understood what's his name? Madhav Rao Sindhya. So he was tied to a tree, as one of my students called Arya, she told me. I was not ready to accept, and he was, targeted with a bullet. Hopefully it might have pierced inside his body and the common people might have accepted it. Uzin bhai sabne bulletproof jacket nahi pehna hai. So also we make fun like this, but even today you go to Andhra, dekho, the person who was putting in garlands of flowers, he was the ex-chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. What was his name? Chandrababu Naidu. And now we have the young fellow, his own little bit of a different relative, and I can tell his name also. Did everyone write Sitaram Alluri? Anybody have a query? In last class, very present. You. He was online. You were present. Achha, I don't remember. One quickly. Almost there. So let us stay on the board. So exam papers complete this kind of writing. And writing this fast. And I want Shall we? So the last case we have to study is the plantation workers. It is the entry of Mahatma Gandhi into Indian politics. Shall we give it to Drishti, is it? Who is that girl? Okay, you are. Carry on. So shall I give the pencil to her? She is going to read and mark. I am going to make up and mark the things up.
Fourth group, plantation workers. Workers who had their own understanding of Mahatma Gandhi and the notion of Swaraj.
Underline notion of Swaraj. No need to mark. This is just to underline. How do I explain the word notion of Swaraj? Carry on.
For plantation workers in Assam, freedom meant the right to move freely in and out of the confined.
Underline the word freedom, to move freely in and out of the confined spaces. Now, I have been into one of the training academy in Chennai before I went abroad. And that academy was perfectly like this. Morning 7-hour theory class will start. By 10, we will be into our theory. And after that, our practical start. It was related to some engineering level course. Being a non-engineering student also, I've learned some engineering numericals and sums. And me and one of my other friend, he was a little bit good with numerics. I was very good with my English. So we used to have a tough competition. ये मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ, now this plantation workers का कैसा रहता था, एक बड़ा गेट रहता था. हमारा इंस्टीट्यूट में भी ऐसे ही रहता था, बड़ा गेट. And whoever goes out, पहले तो उसका मोबाइल का पिक्चर क्लिक होगा, फिर उसका थंब लगाएगा, फिर जाएगा. मतलब का ये इंस्टीट्यूट है या जेल है? और exactly 20 minutes में अंदर घुस जाने का. अगर उसका लेट गया, then the punishment. And for next 6, morning we will hostel वगैरह अंदर ही था, huge spacious one. But the one thing I hate, we were fitted into something like we have the jail kaidis. Punishment क्या होता था? जो भी numericals में miss करेगा उसको 10 बार ये करने बोलेगा, solve करने बोलेगा. और क्या? So when I always believe this Assam, the entire plantation worker, अभी Assam में क्या plantation रहेगा? Tea plantation, chai bagan. And these workers were allowed to move into the plantation gate only. If they move out, then there will be a punishment. तो उनके लिए freedom क्या था? To move out of their campus. वही उनको चाहिए था और कुछ नहीं. Let's see.
Sir, this is the first one.
First point, if you want, नहीं ये भी नहीं है. हम लोग जाएंगे आगे जाएंगे. Next point, under the Inland Immigration Act of 1859.
Under the Inland Immigration Act of 1859, plantation workers were not permitted to leave the tea
Live नहीं है madam. Leave
the tea gardens without permission, and in fact they were rarely given such permission.
Okay.
When they heard of the non-cooperation movement, thousands of workers defied the authorities, left the plantations and headed.
Now start from here. The non-cooperation movement began in Assam plantation. है ना? Began in Assam plantation उधर लिखो. Began in Assam plantation when thousands of workers defied the authorities and left the plantation and headed for home. In fact, हमारे जो hostel में रहता था ना, बहुत लोग है ना, वो wall भी कुछ 9 या 10 feet का था. बहुत लोग बैग पीछे फेंक देता था और कूद के भाग जाता था घर पे. मतलब young boys, I remember I was not even 20 years old, 19 or 20. तो उस एज में अगर आपको 6 महीने का कोर्स में डाल दिया तो वो भी ऐसा स्ट्रिक्ट. So it was, मुझे भी कभी-कभी लगा भाग के आ जाने का, बट फिर मैंने बोला चुपचाप ट्रेनिंग करके आया. बोला इधर जेल से भी बदतर आ लेते, तो क्या हो गया, खाना अच्छा मिलता है? बोला हाँ 3 टाइम मिलता, चुपचाप खाओ. Because we have paid a big lump sum fees for that. So here these workers want to move out of that particular campus. Point number 1. Next point.
They believed that Gandhi Raj was coming and everyone would be given land in their own.
Now their belief, instead of they, this is point number 2. Their belief, THEI, was that, their belief was that Gandhi Raj was coming and everyone would be, that is point number 2. Was that, believe के जगह believe करो. Next point. However, फिर ये however को हटा देने का, start from open bracket from they never reached their destination, stranded on the way by a railway and a steamer-like strike, they were caught by the police and brutally beaten up. इसको हम लोग 2 पॉइंट कर देंगे. They never reached their destination, stranded on the way bus by a railway and steamer strike. ये आके point number 3. Point number 4, they were caught by the police and brutally beaten up. That is point number 4. समझा? मतलब a group यहाँ से बच के भाग रहा था, but they were caught in the police railway station. I don't know how many of you spent your some of the few days of your life in some hostels, especially I think girls when they are working from other state. मैंने इधर देखा मुंबई में कुछ hostels है, working women's hostel बोलते हैं WWH, और ये लड़कियों को बहुत strict रखता है. And to be the strict, the lady might be the most cunning sister of Hitler. Seriously. लड़की थोड़ा भी बाहर गई, किधर गई, किससे मिलने गई, क्या बात करी थी, अरे पापा मैं खाना, फिर किसके साथ खाना लेने गई. I personally seen, because in other department में work, there is one good fat lady जो 10th लड़कियों को ऐसा blast करती है जैसे कि बाबा, the girl will be attending my lecture full of tears. तो मुझे क्या हो गया, नहीं कुछ नहीं, वो मैडम ना मेरे से बात, मुझे मालूम है मैडम कैसे बात करती है, बट कभी कभी मुझे लगता भी एक चाहिए. It is on the just first floor. ये लड़कियां जो भी लेट आएगा या लड़का भी लेट आएगा ना, ऐसा अंदर आके दिखाएगा जैसे कि वो 15 फ्लोर चल के आ रहे. सर मैं कम इन, मुझे लगा क्या, नो सर स्टेयरकेस, क्योंकि उधर भी मैं लेट जाएगा तो किसी को अंदर नहीं लेता. All are standard up. I remember one of the lecture 15 people were out, and this lady had a beautiful day of that time. सबको ब्लास्ट कर रही थी, especially the girls. ठीक है, ऐसे क्या पहन के, देखो जो ड्रेस है. Sometimes मुझे भी खराब लगता था, but मुझे लगा इनको चाहिए. Why I'm saying it? If you see a person who is more like a warden, and then you hate him to the most. Sorry, ये इंडिया में, बॉम्बे में नहीं, in other state where I've been part of some academy working, लड़के लोग ने रातों रात उस वार्डन को उठा के भी लेके गए. And he had given him a nice treat, but उसको ये नहीं मालूम था कौन सा स्टूडेंट आया, क्या उठा, क्या खर्चा पानी दिया. नेक्स्ट 2 दिन तक वार्डन एब्सेंट. तो हम लोग ने मुझे क्या होगा, नहीं वो पेट में गड़बड़ है. पेट में नहीं, और ही कितनी गड़बड़ है. और ये लड़के लोग, क्या सर आप 2 दिन नहीं आए तो हमको कितना तकलीफ है. ये लोग नहीं मारा रहेगा, नहीं वो क्या हो गया ना, वो पेट में. सर आपका शक्ल कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं, ठीक है. Why I'm saying these things happens in some universities and certain hostels where they try to show off. अभी लड़कियां बेचारी ये काम करती है कि नहीं करती मुझे पता नहीं, बट लड़कों का हॉस्टल में मैंने देखा भी और सुना भी है. So imagine these Assam plantation workers are like that, and suddenly on one fine day they escape. चलो आजादी मिल गया. आजादी कहाँ तक मिला, वो रेलवे स्टेशन तक ही मिला. वहां से पुलिस ने जो इनको लेके जाके धोया रहेगा. Imagine what kind of beatings they could have been. I don't know, you should never see any beatings of the Mumbai police at least. हम लोग जो स्कूल में पढ़ते थे उसका एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट एक पुलिस स्टेशन था. एंड जब भी हम लोग, आई वाज इन माय 7th स्टैंडर्ड, आई स्टिल रिमेंबर, तो वो पुलिस कमिश्नर इतना बड़ा पेंट लेकर ऐसा बैठा रहता. इंडिपेंडेंस डे एंड रिपब्लिक डे, आई यूज्ड टू बी द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू गो एंड से हिम हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे. 2 बड़ा कैडबरीज का चॉकलेट था. हम लोग का पूरा स्कूल उधर स्कूल में जा रहा कि नहीं, पुलिस स्टेशन के बाद लाइन लग जाए. अंकल आए नहीं, हाँ अभी आएंगे वैसा, और आके बैठे, हाँ कौन है, हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे, सर चॉकलेट, हाँ है ना. I have seen some persons are made to sit on a chair and the chair is put upside down and the feet is up, correct, and then the beating starts, and the banda who is getting the hot beatings will be calling all his family members name. और ये सब हम लोग देख के डर के ऐसा भागता था. मैं 1-2 बार पूछा, अंकल क्या, नहीं कुछ नहीं, वो बात हो रहा है बात. मैं अंकल लोग को चिल्ला, नहीं कुछ नहीं, आप जाइए चॉकलेट मिला, आप जाइए. वो जोर जोर से चिल्लाएगा से. तो बोला अंकल और कुछ नहीं बेटा आप जाइए, आपको चॉकलेट मिल गया ना, आपका काम हो. So we always believe that these Assam plantation workers were truly troubled by the management people. Okay, let's see what has happened after that.
They interpreted the terms for us.
This is point number 6. Hey, did you remember 5? I'm so sorry. Now what is the meaning of the word interpretation? Translation, understanding. मतलब उनको क्या लगा, स्वराज का मतलब ये है कि असम का वो गेट तोड़ के भाग जाना, that is स्वराज. अभी for example, if I ask you freedom to you might tell the freedom that your parents are not giving to you. सर वो लड़की का फोन आता ना, मेरा मम्मी है ना, तभी है ना बाजू में के चिपक जाती है। हाँ, और बेचारा लड़कियों को भी शायद वही रहेगा, और मम्मी तभी आके क्लीनिंग करेगी, इधर करेगी इधर करेगी। नहीं हुआ, अच्छा किसी ने फोन नहीं किया। And that is the time the girl and the boy is smartly reducing the ear volume also. और मम्मी ऐसा, एंड लड़का तो थोड़ा स्मार्ट रहता है, वो क्या बोलता है, हेलो नेटवर्क नहीं इधर, हेलो इधर भी नेटवर्क नहीं है, हेलो इधर भी नहीं है, भाई ऐसा बालकनी तक जा रहा है। एंड कुछ केसेस में मैंने सुना भी है, ये फॉलन डाउन फ्रॉम द बालकनी एंड ही सेइंग हां अभी नेटवर्क आ रहा है। मैंने बोला ए नीचे गिर गया, उठ अभी। अच्छा, फॉर्चुनेटली द फ्लैट वाज अ ग्राउंड फ्लोर। अरे बालकनी से थोड़ा तो गिर गया। It's like one of my friend told me, yesterday I fall down from the 18th floor so bad. मतलब फिर जिंदा कैसे बचा ना, I fall down the 18th floor. मतलब क्या है, we are trying to express the word freedom. अभी जैसे I feel freedom is very simple. I should not lock the doors, keep it open any time. जैसा मुझे कभी-कभी याद है, आर्या लेट आता तो मैं पूछता हूँ, या जल्दी जाता तो मैं उसको रोक दिया मैंने, यार ये है ना freedom ही नहीं, है ना? I should ask you to come any time and you go any time. बच्चा अंदर आएगा, सर मेरा साइन हो गया, फिर मैं जाता हूँ, पहले लेक्चर तूने तो बोला फ्रीडम है ना? So when you use the word freedom to you and freedom to me, it is totally different. अभी आपका एज में जो फ्रीडम चाहिए वो ही मांगेगा। कल मम्मी है वो है ना, हम लोग रात को 12 बजे, हाँ नहीं 12 बजे के बाद वो नहीं कुछ मतलब बेचारा ओपन करते बंद हो जाता है, और पापा से बोलते हैं पापा हम लोग है ना पिकनिक, हाँ बेटा किधर जा रहा है, वो कुछ लड़का, क्या लड़कियां, फिर नहीं पापा कोई नहीं आ रहा है, फिर ठीक है पापा नहीं जाना, एंड ही विल सेंड यू टू द पिकनिक, एंड उसका खुफिया सूत्रों के थ्रू जानकारी लेगा, मेरा बेटा किसके साथ गया, किधर बैठा है, क्या किया। व्हाट डज इट मीन? ही सीक्रेटली सेंडिंग यू सम स्पाइस फॉर दैट। क्या पता, मैंने कुछ देखा, सॉरी स्पाई, मैंने कुछ देखा है कि बच्चों को पिकनिक में भेज देता स्कूल के साथ, और मम्मी और पापा सीक्रेटली कार में आके वो स्कूल में घूमता है, एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली लड़के ने भी देख लिया, ए तुम इधर क्या कर रहे हो, नहीं बेटा वो हम लोग है ना यहाँ से गुजर रहा था, तो आज यहाँ से क्यों गुजरा और किधर से क्यों निकले। I remember taking some of my MCom students to the picnic, and it was a water theme park, and that time I used to profusely suffer from cold and cough. And I remember I did not venture into a single water rides. तो मेरा कुछ लड़के लोग तो इतना beautifully मुझे लगे, सर आइए ना सर, they are all grown up people. That time I did have even mustache also. तो लोग मुझे अपने ही समझता था या मेरे से भी बुढ़ा लोग मेरे से पढ़ता था। तो एक लड़का ऐसा हाउंस में बैठा था पीछे, वो मैंने देखा नहीं, और ये लड़का मुझे लिखते रहा, आइए ना सर आपसे बात करने का, आइए ना सर, तो यहाँ से मतलब उठ यहाँ से, सर आपने देख लिया, बोला हाँ, क्या सर पानी में नहीं भीगा तो क्या होगा, बोला पानी में भीगने का, चलो ऐसा नहीं सर, आपको धक्का मारने के लिए लेकर आता हूं, देख लिया। मीन्स व्हाट, वी हैव टू गेट इनटू दैट ग्रूम। फिर पूरा कॉलेज में मुझे जाके बोला, हालांकि आया बट एक वाटर राइड में भी नहीं गया ना, तो लड़कियां सच्ची क्यों नहीं, उसने दूसरा ड्रेस नहीं लाया था इसलिए भी गया पानी में, स्पेयर ड्रेस। मैंने बोला ऐसा नहीं है, वो सफरिंग फ्रॉम कोल्ड एंड कफ। देन आई वेंट विद माय कलीग्स, माय टीचिंग फ्रेटर्निटी टू कलकत्ता ओनली, and it was a I think natural water park area, and it was a hill station, and it was too good. तो हमारे ladies fraternity सब बुरी थी, तो I tried to remove my top and started enjoying with my gents club. तो उसमें से एक बुढ़िया आ गई, सर पहनो सर वो लिख करके। The next day the whole college said, कल फिर सर ने मतलब नहीं ऐसा नहीं, मैंने देखा आप बॉडी दिखा नहीं, वो डिक्शन निकाला था मैंने, नहीं वो मैम बोल रही थी क्या, लेकिन वो सोई बहुत मसल्स थे, मतलब उसको थोड़ी दिखा। मींस लुक हाउ द न्यूज़ इज स्प्रेडिंग। फिर हमारा प्यून साहब भी ये सब न्यूज़ बोला, बोले इधर तूने क्या बोला, नहीं सर वो ऐसे ही वो लड़कियां पूछ रही थी कल पिकनिक में क्या हुआ था, मैंने बताया, तुझसे ही क्यों पूछा, वो 8000 मुझे पैसे से देते। So here I want to tell you the word freedom for you. You need everything as a freedom. Freedom to speak on the mobile phone. Freedom not to see the messages you are sending me. The most important WhatsApp group में नहीं आने का। मालूम पड़ा गलती से मम्मी भी अंदर घुस गए WhatsApp group में, and you are busily chatting. And एक 45-year-old का मम्मी का मैसेज आ रहा है, hello dudes, how are you? तो तुरंत वो लड़का जो चिल्लाया उस लड़की को, तेरा मम्मी को ग्रुप में क्यों ऐड किया? अरे मुझे मालूम नहीं कैसे ऐड हो गई। So we always believe freedom is very simple. I feel make your expression simple and straightforward. हाँ है, पसंद है, वो भी मुझे पसंद करता है, अभी क्या करने का? मम्मी बोले कुछ नहीं करने का, तो वेट। हाँ हाँ, अभी पसंद है, अभी क्या करने का? I told her to wait till the degree. You can't wait? नहीं, तो कल ही मैं उसको चाय पे बुलाता हूँ। नेक्स्ट दिन से मम्मी का पूरा ताना बंद हो जाए। I was during my college days, हमारे घर पे लैंडलाइन नहीं रहता था, एंड जब भी फोन आएगा गलती से किसी लेडी का आ गया, I used to work in classes that time, मेरा मम्मी उधर तो बोली हाँ एक मिनट हाँ हल्की से हाँ, and I will be talking and she will be cleaning all the table then and there. फिर जाने के बाद किसका फोन? फिर क्या पूछ रहे? फिर कब मिलने जा रहे? मिलने क्या नहीं, वो बुलाया ना तुझे, हाँ बोला नहीं। फिर एक बार हुआ, दो बार, तीसरा बार आकर ऐसे पूछेंगे ना, वो लड़की का नाम ये है, वो इतना एज है और दिखती भी अच्छी है, अब बोलो कल ही चाय को बुलाते हैं, कुछ भी बोलता है, तो फिर इतना डिटेल क्यों पूछ रहे? करेक्ट। सो वी ऑलवेज बिलीव वेरी सिंपल, you do whatever you are freedom, but the freedom cannot trespass the rights of whom? Your parents. वरना जो फटके पड़ेंगे घर पे। करेक्ट। चलिए लेट्स प्रोसीड।
Yet when the tribals chanted Gandhi's name and raised slogans demanding Swatantra model, they were also emotionally relating to an all-Indian.
So open bracket from the word, the tribals chanted Gandhi's name and raised the slogan demanding Swatantra Bharat. That is point number 6. They also emotionally next.
When they acted in the name of Mahatma Gandhi or lifted their movement to that of the Congress, they were identifying with a movement which went beyond the limits of their
immediate locality. What is immediate locality according to them? That plantation farm. अबे उनको क्या लगा? We are fighting against the British. अबे जैसे आज मैं लेक्चर के लिए आया, you are quite happy. आज ALSH का दिन है, वो करके ना. But if I am coming on 15th August to teach, पहला आज आजादी का दिन, बोला तो मैं क्या करूँ? फिर से आज तो आजादी दे हमको. So I told many of my students in UT only, do I look like a British fellow? हाँ, तो आदिवासी के तरह दिखता है. Then why are you demanding freedom from me? Sir, that's not the case. So here these community people, they wanted freedom from whom? From the plantation owners, but they linked that movement with that of Swaraj movement. Let's mark the last point. They linked their movement. Did you see? So you start the word they, link their movement to that of Congress. They were identifying a movement with a movement which went beyond the limits of their immediate locality. That is point number 7. Chaliye, start writing. So almost all the 4 cases are explained beautifully. I hope you also understood very beautifully. Someone was poking the pen inside the spectacles. It was becoming a hanger. Yes, you only. Oh, he identified. That was what. Quickly write down, then we'll have some good time for some videos for you. Yeah, plantation worker का मिलता क्या देखता हूँ. This is also quite interesting. Correct? Plantation worker Assam. Yes. We got a very small. Hey, did I explain Chauri Chaura? I didn't explain, no? We got a wonderful video. So we can be used for 2 videos. One is at plantation, and another is in Wait. The ladies, let she say live. After 2 years of price distribution due to online, this year we are having, I don't know, some of you guys are invited or not. 24th of this month, UP is organizing a small price distribution for the last year students. पहले ऐसा होता था कि ये बैच से भी सर कुछ लोगों को बुलाते थे to see how it is. Let me check the thing. You know there is one maritime institute in Nehru area. Maritime institute in Nehru. पहले तो विश्व you know that. 24th of July we have a function there in Sunday. Those who gets rank all India rank 1 to 5. I remember one of the years I used to present one small talk. मुझे सर ने 5 मिनट दिया and 15 मिनट तक मैं नहीं There were many parents who were eagerly asking, sir हम लोग आपको सुना है आपसे बात करना है and वो क्या बड़ा स्टेडियम में पूरा लाइट अंधेरा रहता है and मुझे भी अच्छा लगा मैं चलो बात करते हैं सर सर बात Not only me, there are many other teachers. I got a wonderful chance. And I meet the best teacher. So we are eager to meet our top scorers. What was the top scorer? Generally 100 out of 100 students came in me. In my subjects also they get. No, for that we contact your madam. I think the results are to add in. CBSE is declared this. CBSE. So since he has kept 24th July, तो उसके पहले तो दोनों का हो गया. ICSE का 15th of December. Please complete so that we can see who was this final moment. Look at Gandhi. X-ray में भाई साहब ने बैग डाल के जाता. Shall I tell you one thing very frank? Are you interested? Yes. This part, what you guys are writing now, okay? I've never explained to any of the batch for this year like the way I am explaining with you guys. Making them to write also. Yes. And almost दो का बेटे कर रहे हैं ना लोग. So it's your peace and tranquility and happiness and enthusiasm, especially him. You will not give me for one line also. I really appreciate, but आप लोग जितना मुझे फोर्स करेगा टीचिंग ऐसे ऐसा करो मैं और अच्छा करूँ, है ना? So I need your blessings, man. Are you? Don't ask me to touch your feet. That also I do when I'm flying abroad. And from there I will be in touch with your guys. Not now, but some like later. हाँ definitely. मेरा एक low studies हो गया है मस्त में एक बाकी. I'm working. Actually, you're coming to 11 and 12. But अभी तो मेरा टाइम है ना दिसंबर से आएगा. Shall I play? Madhav, are you able to see the video?
Yes, sir.
I'll play also because simultaneously like.
और टाउन्स, कंट्रीसाइड और ट्राइबल्स के बीच ये कैसे फैला. अब हम इस वीडियो में जानेंगे कि प्लांटेशन में इस मूवमेंट का क्या इफेक्ट दिखाई पड़ता है. प्लांटेशन यानी कि बागानों के वर्कर्स ने इसे किस तरीके से समझा. सबसे पहले हम प्लांटेशन का मतलब जानते हैं. देखिए, प्लांटेशन वह बड़ा एरिया होता है जहां बहुत सारे वर्कर्स अपने अपने गांव घरों को छोड़कर यहाँ काम करते हैं और प्लांट्स उगाते हैं और इन्हीं को हम प्लांटेशन
है को जहाँ पर वह काम करते थे था। इसलिए इन लोगों के लिए आजादी का मतलब था कि अपने गांव जाना, अपने घर जाकर अपने रिलेटिव से मिलना। 1859 के इंडियन इमिग्रेशन
Not a worth video to watch. But shall I play that Chauri Chaura incident then?
Yes.
Because that is more important as compared to this. ये भी हिंदी में I learn Hindi, but I don't understand the pure words of Hindi. And many people say my Hindi is very bakwas. Is it so?
Yes.
As compared to English, are you also saying the same?
Yes. As compared to English,
Kiska. Because I've never talked in Hindi in my school and college days, but I used to be a second topper or third topper in Hindi. I remember that all things. My Hindi teacher used to bang me up and down saying कि तू first क्यों नहीं आता? मैंने बोला आप क्या आते हैं? बोले कैसे? बोले next correction थोड़ा simple करो. I was not a duffer, but I used to be second or a third topper in Hindi. Okay, Chauri Chaura incident. Everyone have completed? Madhav, you have completed?
Yes, sir.
Let me explain the background of this Chauri Chaura. Now we are into the NCM, which is spreading across India. Correct? But then, why Gandhiji suspended this non-cooperation movement? You have to understand. There was a place in UP called Chauri Chaura. Now, what has happened to this place? Go for video clip comes forward. Good boy. What has happened to this Chauri Chaura place? What has happened, that also I'll tell you. Wait. Just 1 minute. When I explain, then you will be able to understand clearly. Okay. So Gandhiji was undertaking this NCM. If you see, there are different parts of the country which is witnessed. Now this program is going with a great bang or the great success. But suddenly Gandhiji made every time that NCM should be purely on non-violence and ahimsa. But there happened to have an incident in Chauri Chaura where some plantation workers were having a march on the road and they were approaching to a nearby local area. Suddenly there was a rumor to the police station. It's a very deep part of UP, Chauri Chaura. But large scale shooting या killing नहीं हुआ ना, वो तो एक tribal था, वो आके mainstream से जुड़ा नहीं. So now what has happened? These rumor एक गया था police station में. There is a big mob is coming to attack the police station, which was not the reality. Suddenly, police ordered them to fire to the mob, which was not having any intention to attack the police station. So what has happened? In the anger of this police firing, the mob went into the police station and set ablaze. Blaze dal ke A dal. What has happened? 22 policemen plus 1 SI. Who is an SI? Sub-inspector. He was killed. He was burned to death. When this news spread to Mahatma Gandhi, he was totally taken aback. What is taken aback? He was completely shocked. Time and again he was saying कि ये movement पूरा कैसा रहना चाहिए? Non-violent रहना चाहिए. But ये violent हो गया. But it was not very planned by the people, nor by the police. So he passed the resolution saying, I will ban the movement. Except Gandhi, no other person were of the view, because this NCM was producing great result. Great result to whom? To the British government. So Gandhiji said, although I am dropping this program, I will launch a separate program which is more, we can say, more effective than this program. And that program was nothing but CDM. What does CDM stands for? Wonderful. Could anybody tell me one word for that civil disobedience? Non-payment of taxes. Abhi NCM and non-payment nahi tha. But he said, although I am suspending this movement for which no people in the INC is ready, but when I am going to launch a new program, this will be far more elaborate and far more effective than what is the program. So what is that incident which forced Gandhi to suspend the movement? Chauri Chaura incident. Samajh mein aaya? So that is what we will be understanding this program. Then hopefully I will give notes. If not, we can check out soon. So this is in an animated form. Hopefully you understand. And I think ye bhi Hindi mein hi hai. So no doubt we love Hindi. Correct. Okay.
पूरी की पूरी मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी एज चल रहा था। पिछली वीडियो टॉपिक जिसका नाम है नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट। पिछली वीडियो में हम लोगों ने देखा कि देश में खिलाफत मूवमेंट चल रहा था। पहली बार पूरी की पूरी मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी एज अ होल ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ आंदोलन कर रही थी। गांधी जी ने इसमें एक अपॉर्चुनिटी खोज निकाली थी। उन्होंने सोचा कि मुस्लिम्स ऑलरेडी ब्रिटिशर्स के अगेंस्ट फाइट कर रहे हैं और अगर ऐसे टाइम पर हिंदूज भी ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ एक मूवमेंट शुरू कर दें तो ये पहली बार होगा कि पूरा का पूरा देश, हिंदू मुस्लिम सभी ब्रिटिशर्स से एक साथ लड़ रहे हैं। और अगर ऐसा हो गया तो ब्रिटिशर्स ज़्यादा देर तक टिक नहीं पाएंगे और ब्रिटिशर्स को घुटनों पर लाया जा सकता है और देश को आज़ाद कराया जा सकता है। और वैसे भी हिंदूज तो पहले से ही भरे बैठे थे रॉलेट एक्ट और जलियांवाला बाग ट्रेजेडी का बदला लेने के लिए। गांधी जी ने उन्हें प्रॉमिस किया था कि अगर वो नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट में खिलाफत मूवमेंट के साथ खड़े हो जाते हैं तो वो 1 साल में आज़ादी दिला देंगे। फिर क्या था, गांधी जी ने 1 अगस्त 1920 को नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट शुरू कर दिया और देश उनके साथ आ गया। अब बात आती है कि नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट में करना क्या था। पहली चीज़ तो ये कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, लॉ कोर्ट्स और लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल्स को बॉयकॉट करना था। विदेशी कपड़ों का बहिष्कार करना था और उसकी जगह खादी कपड़े यूज़ करने थे। इसके अलावा अगर ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट ने कोई भी अवार्ड या टाइटल्स दे रखे हैं तो उसको वापस करना है, यानी अवार्ड वापसी। दिसंबर 1920 कांग्रेस सेशन में कांग्रेस ने भी नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट पर मोहर लगा दी और साथ ही यहाँ पर कांग्रेस की गोल स्टेटमेंट को चेंज कर दिया गया। पहले कांग्रेस की गोल स्टेटमेंट जो थी वो था सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट थ्रू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मीन्स। गोल तो अभी भी सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट ही है बट इसे अचीव करने के तरीके को चेंज कर दिया गया। तो अब जो है गोल स्टेटमेंट है टू अटेन सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट वाया एक्स्ट्रा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मीन्स ऑफ मास स्ट्रगल। तो यहाँ पर ये कहना ठीक होगा कि गांधी जी के आने के बाद कांग्रेस के करेक्टर में ये एक बड़ा चेंज आया, क्योंकि अब आज़ादी पाने के लिए कांग्रेस सिर्फ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म्स के बारे में नहीं सोच रही है, बल्कि अब वो मासेस को इन्फ्लुएंस करके बड़े मूवमेंट के थ्रू आज़ादी पाना चाहती है। कई सारे कांग्रेस लीडर्स कांग्रेस में इस चेंज से खुश नहीं थे। जिन्ना, एनी बेसेंट और बिपिन चंद्र पाल ने इस कारण से कांग्रेस छोड़ दी। इनके छोड़ने से ज़्यादा कुछ फर्क तो पड़ा नहीं, मूवमेंट तो खूब फला फूला। अब क्योंकि बच्चों ने तो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस छोड़ दिए थे, वो तो इन सब मामलों में पहले ही आगे रहते थे। जहाँ मूवमेंट शुरू हुआ नहीं, इन्होंने स्कूल छोड़े। इसीलिए नेशनल लीडर्स ने कहा कि यार इनकी पढ़ाई छूटनी नहीं चाहिए। ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स नहीं है तो क्या हम लोग नेशनल कॉलेजेस खोल सकते हैं? तो काफ़ी सारे नेशनल लीडर्स ने नेशनल कॉलेजेस और विद्यापीठ खोल दिए। इसके अलावा बड़े बड़े दिग्गज लॉयर्स ने अपनी लॉ प्रैक्टिस छोड़ दी थी। इस समय में जो मेन कॉलेजेस खोले गए थे वो थे गुजरात विद्यापीठ, बिहार विद्यापीठ, तिलक महाराष्ट्र विद्यापीठ, काशी विद्यापीठ, बंगाल नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी और जामिया मिलिया। और जिन दिग्गजों ने अपनी लॉ प्रैक्टिस छोड़ दी थी उनके नाम थे जवाहरलाल नेहरू, उनके पिताजी मोतीलाल नेहरू, CR दास, सरदार पटेल और राजेंद्र प्रसाद। गवर्नमेंट हमेशा की तरह बरस पड़ी थी आंदोलनकर्ताओं पर। पब्लिक मीटिंग्स बैन कर दी गई थी, प्रेस पर ताले लगा दिए गए थे, गांधी जी को छोड़कर बाकी सभी बड़े लीडर्स को जेल में डाल दिया गया था। उधर कांग्रेस जो है वो गांधी जी पर प्रेशर बना रही थी कि अरे आप तो जेल में नहीं हो ना, आप बाहर हो, नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट अच्छा चल रहा है और अब सिविल डिसोबीडियंस शुरू कर देना चाहिए। गांधी जी पर इतना ज़्यादा प्रेशर बना दिया कि यार गांधी जी आप जो है गियर बदलो यार, अगला गियर डालो आप। मरते क्या न करते गांधी जी ने 1 फरवरी 1922 में बारडोली से सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट लॉन्च करने का ऐलान कर दिया। अब ऐलान करे सिर्फ 4 ही दिन हुए थे कि 5 फरवरी 1922 में चौरी चौरा इंसिडेंट की खबर आ गई, जहां लोगों की भीड़ ने 22 पुलिसमैन को जिंदा जला दिया था। बेसिकली चौरी चौरा जो है वो गोरखपुर का एक छोटा सा विलेज है। यहाँ पर नॉन कॉपरेशन के दौरान एक निहत्थे वॉलंटियर ग्रुप पर पुलिस ने लाठीचार्ज कर दिया था। तो इसके रेस्पॉन्स में भाई उनको कुछ ना कुछ तो करना था, तो गांव वालों ने पुलिस स्टेशन का घेराव कर दिया और पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट करने लग गए। अब इस पर पुलिस वाले जो हैं वो भड़क गए। उन्होंने कहा कि यार ये लोग हमें आने जाने का रास्ता भी नहीं देंगे। उन्होंने गोली वोली चला दी और इसके रेस्पॉन्स में गांव वालों ने एक दो के गले काट दिए। बस फिर क्या था, भीड़ ने आगे बढ़ के पूरे पुलिस स्टेशन में आग लगा दी और वो भी पुलिस वालों सहित 22 पुलिसकर्मियों को यहाँ पर जिंदा जला दिया गया था। अब बात पहुंची गांधी जी तक।
हम लड़ेंगे, जरूर लड़ेंगे, मगर हिंसा से नहीं, अहिंसा से।
गांधी जी को तो वॉयलेंस पहले से ही पसंद नहीं है। खबर सुनते ही उनका तो खून खौल गया। उन्होंने कहा कि यार मैं यहाँ पे अहिंसा 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 बोल रहा हूँ, तो मैं सिर्फ हिंसा 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 ही सुन रहा है। उन्होंने कहा कि यार ऐसे नहीं चल पाएगा। नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट वापस ले लिया उन्होंने। नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट खत्म होने से पूरे देश में मातम सा छा गया, क्योंकि लोगों को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि यार ऐसा क्या हो गया। एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंट हो गया और वो भी एक छोटी सी जगह में, तो गांधी जी क्या इसकी सजा सबको दे देंगे? यार इन्होंने तो नॉन कॉपरेशन और खिलाफत मूवमेंट दोनों ही बंद कर दिए। इनफैक्ट कांग्रेस के कुछ बड़े नेता जो थे वो भी गांधी जी के इस डिसीजन को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पा रहे थे। अगर कुछ भी हो, सच्चाई तो यही है कि चौरी चौरा इंसिडेंट की वजह से नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट जो है, जो अपने पीक पर था, उसको अचानक से बंद कर दिया गया। और इसके तुरंत बाद मार्च 1922 में गांधी जी को 6 सालों के लिए जेल में डाल दिया गया। ये था नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट। नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे साइमन कमीशन। अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी है तो इसको लाइक कर देना, दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कर।
So understood what is this Chauri Chaura incident? So here one thing is very clear, कि Gandhi ji was very stubborn with his decision making. So the entire Congress was against it, but he did not accept a single point. So put the heading in your notebook. Suspension of non-cooperation movement. Suspension of non-cooperation movement by Gandhi ji. I am giving you. वो क्या पूछ रहा है, मैं दे रहा हूँ कि नहीं दे रहा हूँ? उधर है ही नहीं, वॉल्यूम में है ही नहीं, है क्या कुछ? क्या है? Suspension of non-cooperation movement by Gandhi ji. Which page they have given? हाँ, correct. चौरी चौरा गोरखपुर. Okay. Shall I? By Gandhi ji. NCM, the successful movement. Not next line. Now only we are starting the answer. ओए, कौन था? निकल गई या बजाने का आदत है तुझे? It's okay. By mistakenly, if he has done, then it's no problem. NCM was successful in major parts of India. NCM was successful in major parts of India. Hey, you want me to allow you to rush home?
Yes.
Will you be able to write this on your own then?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
क्या माधव क्या बोल रहा है?
sir, no, sir.
माधव तो क्या, ये लड़कियां बोल रही, तू तो वैसे भी घर पे ही बैठा है. NCM was a major success in the major a successful program in major parts of India, was forced to be suspended after the infamous incident of Chauri Chaura.
Sir, आप पहले सवाल बोल रहे हो, अरे like NCM was successful in major
Parts of India was forced to suspend after infamous incident in Chauri Chaura. Infamous, famous नहीं, infamous incident of Chauri Chaura. Infamous incident of Chauri Chaura. Next point, or the second point. Next point. On 4th February 1922. On 4th February 1922. A small place in Gorakhpur, UP. A small place in Gorakhpur. Hey, you know the spelling of Gorakhpur?
Yeah.
Okay. RAKHPUR of PUR, what it is. Gorakhpur UP witnessed. UP. These are the. Don't ask me what is UP now. Witnessed a large group of protesters participating in protesters participated in NCM movement in I think he's end of the day today. That's what it is. In NCM clashed with the police. Full stop. Next point. Police reacted with or police reacted by lathi charge and open fire. Police reacted by or through lathi charge and open fire at the crowd. Lathi charge, open fire at the crowd. Next point. The angry mob. The angry mob. Mob, M-O-B. ये दोनों को कुछ नया सुनाई देता रहता है. Angry mob set the police station on fire. Set the police station on fire, in which 22 policemen were burnt alive. In which 22 policemen were burnt alive. Burnt alive. Change the para. Hence.
Yes, para means new points.
Yes.
Hence. When Gandhiji heard of this infamous incident, or when Gandhiji heard about this incident, the NCM becoming violent. The NCM becoming violent. He took violent. I don't know what is this boy asking. He took a solemn decision or a big decision of suspending this movement. Thank you and good night. This movement. So next coming Sunday, be prepared for the test as you guys have demanded. Now you can pack up and leave. I'm leaving you close to 4.5 minutes early. Geography and civics. Hey, are you sure that you guys are happy with that both the tests?
Yes.
Do that, huh? बच्ची प्रिया हाँ अंदर आके बैठ कीजिए sit up हाँ correct I will be finishing this with maybe like 2-3 more topics. Hey, you next lecture along with history bring geography also, both the textbook as well as the volume. Correct. So that's so nice of you. I'll allow girls to go last today and boys first today. है ना? But the girl Supriya, what's her name? Riya. ये कौन है? अच्छा अजय. No problem. She is having आर्या ना? तू नाम change करता है. आर्या. अच्छा you go first because she is very happy chatting to run away. Good night and take care, guys.
Bye, sir.
Bye, Madhav. Regarding the test, you got the uplift update?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Keep moving. ये देखो, class खत्म हुआ कि नहीं start? Oh, such busy people are. उसी ले collect कर, उसको मॉम आती है. अच्छा. Are you fully prepared that you are going to take the commerce only? Oh, two? अरे वाह, तो फिर तो है मैं तेरे साथ, if you are in touch with me, okay? God bless you.